So hello, everyone. I see that there's already 2 people on, so that's awesome. It's probably us.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. At least we are our own audience, so that's pretty cool.
We're
There's
for
nothing
sure.
like us watching ourselves and doing what we need to do. So um, we're just going to be starting in a few minutes. We'll wait for people to show up and appear. So just because this is distracting, I'll turn that off. Turn that off.
Yeah,
So
uh,
it's
I'm
always good
doing.
to cancel any distraction that we might have, because what we have to say is really important. We
Yes.
have I have here Nuria Sefchovich with me, and I'm excited to hear what she has to say. We're just going to wait a few more minutes just to make sure that we'll start at 2:30 sharp. And we have Kerwin Teal right here. Hi, Kerwin. How you doing? Thanks for being here. Thanks for checking us out. We're gonna have a one of my first. It is my first collaborative videos, and my goal is to have these videos with expert in the health and wellness industry on a weekly basis. So I just want to bring more value to the people that are looking at my page, people that are following me, just so that you can have some expertise and ideas about different ways to help yourself. There's a traditional medicine, and there's also the non-traditional medicine. And I think a lot of my guests will have more on the non-traditional medicine point of view, so that we can work together into making you healthier and having different options so that you can help yourself and feel healthier. So here we are at 2:30. So I'll say hello. Please say hi in the chat so I know that who's watching. That'll be great. And thank you for being here. Say hello in the chat when you arrive. I just want to see who's there and who's watching. That'll be good to hear from you. And say, if you want, you can also share from where you're from. That'll be good to see whose
Yeah.
audience we have and where they come. And thank you for being here. Oh, say hello in the. You gotta mute that, Nuria.
Yeah. Now I
Close
okay.
it.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So my name is Denise Belil, and I'm a mental fitness coach and serenity expert. And the reason why we're here is because I want to bring value to the people that are listening to us and that are watching us, watching me. And the reason I call it It's All Good, because it's my favorite cup. It's all good. So I drink water out of this cup day in, day out. And I love this saying, it's all good. So, and I'm happy that you're here. So I would like to introduce my collaborator. Oh, I got to go this way now because camera is reversed. My collaborators today is Nuria Sefchovich, and she is a life and energy coach, founder of THREEES with 3 E's. So she might explain why as we talk further. Transformative Coaching. Her purpose in life is to be the bridge connecting and serving other being to create bigger legacies. Wow, that sounds very interesting. For over 15 years, she's had the honor of leading communication program and corporate social responsibility strategy for major government, nonprofit, and private organization. Also, as a mentor, she's been an incredible support for her mentees while volunteering at the YWCA Metro Vancouver. Nuria is part of a selective group of writers sharing their immigration story for the book stories from Newcomers to Canada. So I look forward to hear about that also. So welcome, Nuria.
Thank you, Denise, for your generosity and for opening this space where we all deal with that life as it is. And I feel like these conversations are so needed. And we need to find a place where the tools are there for us to change our lives, to change our mindset, and to find a better way of living. So
Oh,
thank you.
oh, that's fabulous. Thank you. And Nuria, are you happy?
I am happy, and I could say that happiness is a muscle that we work out daily, second by second. And it seems that happiness is a mindset, right? And you, as a serenity expert, know better than nobody else about this. So just a parenthesis, the other day I work with Denise regularly. We support one another. She's extraordinary. And one day, last week, I was, I was about to meet a potential client for a consulting business I own in Mexico. And I was like, I'm a little bit nervous. I don't know. Like, I'm a little bit stressed out. I've been working on this proposal. And she just like walked me through an incredible 5 minutes relaxation exercise where I was so focused on the present moment. And for me, that's happiness. Like sometimes uh, we are not happy sometimes because we feel like sadness is a way of being, and we learn that way of being in our early stages in life.
Mm-hmm.
So when you allow yourself to be in those moments of serenity, in those moments of being present with your body, being present with who you are, and with who is the person you want to be,
Yeah.
that's happiness. Which is not like, I wouldn't like to go into the confusion of being happy and living inside of this toxic positivity, right?
Yeah.
Because life happens, and when life happens is when this muscle that I mentioned before is when it has to show up, right? The
Yeah.
happiness muscle, the muscle that you've been working out.
Yeah, I agree because I found that that's funny you talk about the muscle you've been working out because also as a mental fitness coach, we work about the mental muscle, right? Like the strengthening your positive side of your mind. And
Yep.
also, we've been conditioned so much that happiness depends on things, right? I'm happy because I have the brand new, right? It's not the brand new, but let's say the brand new iPhone, right? Like people are like, I gotta have the last story, I gotta have the brand new cars, I have to buy new clothes because that's what's going to make me happy. Like the boyfriend or like whatever else outside of us. But
Exactly.
but the happiness really comes from the inside. It
Yeah.
comes from what our brain tells us, what we tells our brain, or what our brain we let our brain tell us, and our heart and our emotion.
Yeah. Yeah, because you said it right. Like, we put our happiness in all of these externalities, right? Or in those fantasies of the day that once I get that job, or once I get that body, or once I get, but we're living in the future instead
When
of
I'm on vacation, I'll be able to relax and
right, instead of taking the actions now that build up that future that is not a fantasy. It's possible to create, but you have to start at the present moment, right? So it's
Mm.
being present, and yeah, it's a muscle.
So what do you feel? What is the main factor that affect individual and with their well-being and mental health?
Like, I would like to mention some, like, there is the World Happiness Report. It's a report that it's a survey that is designed by a group of researchers,
Hmm.
and by United Nations. And the World Happiness Report ranks 156 countries by how happy citizens are worldwide. And the factors that this study considers are like, how do you perform in your social environment, which are the natural, um, um, yeah, what is happening in nature that it affects your happiness.
Yeah.
And I everybody can get access to that report. Is free online. You can just Google the World Happiness Report. And I'm so happy that we're having this conversation now, because they just released the 2021 report, and this focuses on the effects of COVID-19 and on negative mental health consequences such as depression and anxiety.
Mhm.
So this is really, I was shocked. I've been following up this report. It's
Yeah.
for a while, but it's shocking. It's shocking to see um, uh, how an externality can be so big that impacts our well-being in our daily basis, right? So, for instance, the report points out that the main stressors, um, the main stressors that trigger anxiety and depression are like, oh my god, I'm worried about being infected,
Yeah.
or my financial situation in the short and in the long run. And all of those were worldwide patterns. Or the domestic family arrangements during times of lockdown, like when all the family, or in whatever way we conceive family, but those arrangements highly influences the way we were performing, and highly influences our mental well-being.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And also the restriction about fulfilling activities, or lockdown policies, like all of those things were totally out of our control. And more importantly, the report points out that um, eh, so for many individuals, those mental issues were already there, but when COVID happened, it got worse.
It just
It-
amplifies it. It
yeah,
just like time
yeah,
10, right? It just boosted everything. And it's
yeah.
like relationship. We've seen a lot of, I talked to a divorce lawyer actually a couple of weeks ago, and he was saying divorce is on the decline because people that were okay to be with each other for like 3, 4 hours a day, which is normally the evening
Yes.
all the time, but now being in their face like 24/7, and not being able to go out, and to go out and hang out with the girls or the boys, and relieve the tension of being in face to face with someone for so long. It
Yeah.
made a big difference on
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
mental health. And
Yeah.
how does that affect also like the on the workforce, like depression in the workforce? So how that has affected people
It
like
it
that
has
are working?
it has affected tremendously, mainly in younger age pop groups, and women. Like, please really go and read it. The report is really straightforward, because it's important that we all are aware of those groups that are like in need right now, and specifically in the workforce. There are lots of challenges, I would say, in
What's
the
the name of the
workplace.
report again?
The name of the report is let me give you the exact name, is the World Happiness Report. You just Google it, and right away you get the links, and you can download each chapter, which
I
is
just put it in
fantastic.
our chat, so
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yes, of course you did that.
people
um,
can search World Happiness Report.
Yes. So, in the workforce, like many workers who have suffered job losses during COVID, are not actively looking to find new jobs. There are other group of workers who have recently lost their jobs, and finding a new one has been really, like, extremely, like, challenging for them.
Of course.
And many other workers had to reduce their working hours as a result of the pandemic. So, right now, like, the workforce, like, responded really, um all of this wasn't expected, but in one hand the workforce has to reshape their needs, and say, like, okay, now if we're posting a job, we need these characteristics, we need these skills from people, right? So something that is changing, or there is a transition in the workforce right now, is that, okay, if we're going to change the way that this new reality in the workplace is, we have to consider people's well-being and how people have performed during COVID.
Mm,
So for instance, like big companies like Google, Facebook, Twitter, like all of these massive companies, they want that their employees keep working remotely, because they saw that, there is nothing really tied to, I'm going to pay you this salary and this is the outcome. Like if you are working full time, I want you, sitting 8 hours. Probably no, that's not what the companies really want. They want your skill and they want your talent.
yeah.
The For what is really important to consider now is that like people now are starting looking for jobs that have a meaning, where they have like a strong social support,
Mm-hmm.
where they can, prioritize their well-being. So this is totally something that for recruiters is like, oh, so are we ready to provide that support to our employees?
Yeah.
So I think that was a good thing that came out of COVID, right? Just reflecting on that.
So, what would the new normal look like now in the workforce with mental health in the workforce, like supporting the employees? So, how does that look like?
So it looks like um having more like a flexible home working model that still affords employees opportunities to network, collaborate, and socialize in person, that could provide the necessary inflows of social and intellectual capital to lead to large productivity dividends to the company. So it's like consider that your employees are your asset as well, right? So you have to treat them with and provide them that support where they can perform better, but also develop their social connection to be included in every activity in the workplace.
And you said that you're doing access bar. So, how does that play in all of that? So, how can that help people? And
So
what is
well,
access bar?
so the bars are like 32 energy points that run through and around your head, that connect the different aspects of your life. They store the electromagnetic component. Sounds really technical, but it's how it works. Of all the thoughts, ideas, attitudes, decisions, and beliefs that you have, that over time you say like, this is the only truth, and you replicate a specific behavior. So the first Access Bar sessions was facilitated, like, I don't know, 20 years ago, by the founder of Access Consciousness. And since then, it has been expanded in 170 countries ish. And there are facilitators worldwide. So you can find one everywhere, right? So this, you can learn this technique as well. Like, for instance, I'm a Access Bars facilitator, and I certified my 9 years old and my 17 years old. So we all know that technique. So how can you apply this, for instance, in the workplace? We know that after many months of isolation, with all of this uncertainty about our future, many people like feel a lack of hope, or lack of sense of community. And it's a fact, Denise, that many health experts, including the World Health Organization, have warned of a decline in the collective mental health of our global society as a result of what happened with
Mhm.
COVID. That
Yeah,
is
too much
still we are
stress
there.
has happened for sure.
So it's here, and we have to do something about that. So the access bars, there are different treatments and different study cases, not only applied to individuals, but also in large corporations, where what people experience is, for instance, just to mention something, a decrease in eating disorders, And this study case was applied in one large company in Mexico.
Okay.
The employees reported decreasing eating disorders, decreasing digestive disorders, decreasing headaches, less fear of everyday things in life,
Yeah.
which just like a lot,
Yeah.
uh, less anxiety, improve the sleep quality. So the main outcome was, if your employees have that kind of therapy or that kind of treatment, when they go to the workplace, they are not only uh, not performing better, but also they are happy.
So
And
what does the session look like?
that session looks like it's you can be in a gravity chair, or you can be like lay down in a massage table, and someone is just, you can really being like watching a movie or being in a brainstorm meeting, and someone is, we call it running your bars. So someone is setting the your hands in your head, like in different positions,
Uh-huh.
and we're just running that electromagnetic bars, and you don't have to do nothing. Some people get sleep, so fall asleep. Some people just are like, oh, I feel like I'm gonna start laughing. So it depends on each person, but it's a 60 90 minutes session.
So I never had an action bar session. So you're welcome to come to
Real.
my place and give me one,
Yes.
but I can experience it. But I'm a Reiki master. So what's the difference between action bar and Reiki? Because
Oh,
Reiki bring energy and it's sort of similar in some ways.
yeah. So first off, I think it's amazing that everybody who's listening to us right now, you know get access to any tool that they feel light. These
But
two.
I'm curious, like those that are listening, even if it's replay, can you post in the chat if you have ever had an action bar session? And if you did, how did that make you feel? And if you didn't, with Les listen, she'll tell us exactly
Yeah,
how that worked
yeah,
compared to rate.
yeah. So, well, like Reiki, like the bars is a hands-on process.
Yeah,
So in order to release energy, the body has to be touched.
yeah.
So, and Reiki it's an energy process as well. And as far as I know, I'm not an expert on the Reiki. So as far
You
as I
can
know,
one
you
kind of
can.
touch. You could do it
Yeah,
from distance. We do distance Reiki, so I could send you Reiki right now, from you over there or in US, and you could still get benefit. And but bar you have to touch. You have
you
to.
have to touch. You have to
Okay.
touch, and we have different other processes. It could be from a facelift, visiting the bar sessions, and going to body processes. Like we have a variety of
Wow,
tools to support clients towards their well-being.
very interesting.
And like for instance, this study case that I was mentioned before, the outcome of that study says that the severity of anxiety symptoms after a bar session was decreased by an average 84%, and the severity of depression symptoms was decreased by average of 82%.
Wow, that's amazing. That's
It's amazing.
amazing.
It's really amazing.
So, which means that people that would be in the workforce that would want to experience a bar treatment, that's how you call that, a bar
Yeah,
treatment.
yeah,
You don't go to the bar and drink wine. You just
exactly. That's
it is
not.
not the same
You
type
can,
of
right?
bar. In case you're jumping in right at this conversation, we're not talking about a pub. We're talking about a treatment,
Yeah,
and so they would have to go to your place or to
yeah.
to your
To my
office or
studio. Yeah,
your
yeah,
studio, and then they would get a treatment there. So
yeah.
curious also. So what type of investment would people um, be looking at to get a bar treatment?
So it depends on the facilitator, because it depends of how many, how well experienced are you, like putting this tool um on place, right? So it depends. We don't have a specific um, like every facilitator has their own fees, right? But I would say what I recommend is to take at least 3 sessions,
Uh-huh.
like in a row, like one weekly, to really see the changes. Like it's you're gonna see them. Like with the first session, you're gonna see the changes. I personally, I why I became a bars facilitator, because I personally experienced anxiety and depression,
Yeah.
and this random, because I believe in the universe and all of those gifts from the universe. So I randomly got this session, and I was like, what is this? Like, I never experienced this level of happiness. And then I just kept creating, and all the things that I was building up for the last 4 years just happened in one week. So it's when I discovered that happiness happens inside of you, not from
Yeah,
externalities.
absolutely. Yeah.
And right now I have a summary special, so it's that I can share if someone is interested in.
Sure,
So
you can mention it.
three I am um giving like 3 bar sessions. My normal price for each session is 120, and right now my if you get the package, each session is 85.
Wow, that's a good discount.
Yes, you save 105, so it's a
Yeah.
nice discount.
Wow, that's fantastic. I might have to try it out.
Yes.
And so do you have, well, here I can see, like, do you have any suggestion for those that are listening to improve their daily life?
Yes, like
If they don't live close to you, or
I
like
know.
if you live in Vancouver, just so you know, Nuria is in US, so it's accessible by car or by SkyTrain.
By
So it's
Skype.
easy, and that's where your studio is, right?
Yeah, yeah,
It's easily
yeah,
accessible to her. But do you have any suggestion for
yes.
people to improve their
I
daily life?
I have four tips for those who are dealing with anxiety, stress, or like they don't find what is next. Like, something that we work a lot around the bars is to live in the question instead of looking for answers, because the answers limit your future and limits your what is next, right? If I say, give me the answer of this, you get the answer, and there is no more possibilities for you to create something.
Hmm.
Whereas when you live in the question and are open to receive,
Yeah.
is when there is a new world of possibilities for you, right? So my first tip is, as I already mentioned, one of the problems with depression and sadness is that it seems that there is no other option for us available, right? So
Uh-huh.
if you can start your day just by asking, what can I be or do different today to move beyond this depression,
Mm.
or beyond this anxiety, or beyond this stressor? And you ask the universe, and you have to be on that space of receiving, right? Universe, will you please show me something beautiful today? What
Mhm.
else is possible here that I've never considered? And just asking those 3 questions,
Yeah.
you open your eyes. That those questions bring you back to your body and bring you back to being present.
Hmm. Hmm.
And my second tip is, what if that experience of feeling that this is heavy and I am depressed, what if that doesn't belong to you?
So what does it mean by that?
So by that I mean, when you ask, who does this belong to,
Hmm.
and ask for it a couple of times. Like at the end, you wake up and you're sad, or you are mad, or you're like moody or whatever, and you said a couple of times, okay, who does this belong to? Who
Hmm.
does it belong to? Who does it? And but you ask it over and over and over again, you're gonna feel the space. Just try it on.
Hmm.
Who does this belong to? Who does this belong to? And if it belongs to you, say like, okay, universe, show me what is right about this that I am not getting.
Hmm.
And it requires for you to be aware of the answer, right?
Of
Not
course.
the answer,
Be
but
open to it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And the third tip is move your body, like walk, jump, but jump like really, like kids
Get a
don't.
rebounder. right?
Really, kids don't deal with anxiety. We are the problem. Adults are the problem, right? When you see a kid that is really excited, our first reaction is like, shh, kid, stop being happy, right?
Yes,
Instead of jump and start, like
absolutely.
replicating that behavior. So
Yeah,
please
yeah,
move your body. Like if you feel ridiculous, just go to the bathroom. If you're in the office, go to the bathroom and jump. And you're gonna see how, right away your body is
takes the
reacting,
energy for sure.
changing the energy. And the fourth one is that, your point of view creates your reality. Your
Mhm.
reality doesn't create your point of view. It's on the other way around.
Yeah, I agree with
So,
that for
so
sure.
if you are dealing with depression, if you're dealing with anxiety or stress, please don't, just being aware of what have you concluded about depression
Yeah.
that is limiting for you to change. What is there for you to change about that point of view?
Yeah, because what you focus on, that's what you get most, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
what is it that you're focusing on and how to improve that? And I
Yeah.
work with my clients with that also, right? It's just about, oh, like people that says, like for example, there's some people that says, oh, I never get a parking spot, I always have to walk 3 blocks, and some of the people say, I always get a parking spot, I'm always going to park in front of where I want to go no matter what. Like it's 90% of the time I'll have a parking spot. And why is that? Why is it that those that says they always have a parking spot, they have it, and those that says, oh, I always have to work blocks in order to,
Yeah.
it's a secret, but it happens, right? It does
It
happen. So
happens.
what makes that? I mean, it's the universe talking, somehow, because what you
Yeah.
think of, you attract.
Exactly. Really. It's
And
like, and that's something that I really love about access bars. That is like, there is no, like, why is never a question. Like, why me? Why now? Like, that's not a question, right? Like, it's why is really, just take it out from your vocabulary, because it doesn't help you.
yeah, yeah.
You stop like looking at reality as it is, and
Try
instead of,
to try to find the reason why these things happen, but just think about what you want to realize in your life,
yeah,
and
and
how you can
and,
create.
and also being aware of what did I ask for my life to be.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get present to that, you receive everything, right? Like if we ask for money, like money not necessarily shows up in the way that we imagine.
It's not necessarily cash in our wallet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that's great. And so what you say determine your future. It can be negative or positive. Yes, Kerwin, you're absolutely right. Like if you think negatively, then you will attract more negative things in your life. And if you think positively, then you will attract more positive things in your life.
And mainly because the universe doesn't make distinctions, right? So if you said, I'm depressed, 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 so the universe delivers more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're depressed, depressed, depressed. Okay, there you go. More, 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 right?
Yeah.
Or I'm 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 a loser. Okay, more of that.
Yeah.
The universe is open to deliver to you and happy to do it. So being aware of the things we're asking is our responsibility, because we are the source of our well-being.
Yeah. Well, that's fantastic. And you're so wonderful in everything that you talked to us about today. So do you give classes? Do you invite people to classes and teach them what you do? How does that work?
Yes, so I teach this technique, and the fantastic thing about this technique is like you learn it, and you can just like run people's bars, your coworkers, your family members, your dog, or yourself, and you become a practitioner. You're a certified practitioner, so you can also like start a business really as a practitioner,
Yeah.
or you can become a facilitator as well. That is a longer process. You have to take a couple of classes. But my next class takes place on September the 11th.
Okay. And how long is a class?
The class is from it's from 9:30 to 4:30.
Okay. And
It's
it's in person?
okay. Sorry?
Is it in-person class?
It's an
Because it's
in-person. Yeah,
literally hands-on, right?
yeah. It's an in-person class, so I have like limited spots, to provide people the right space and to make them feel comfortable. So yeah, I have my waiting list.
So Kerwin, that's been with us since the beginning, is from Sweden. So is there a practitioner in Sweden?
Yes, so absolutely. Yeah, if you go to the accessconsciousness.com site, you can find facilitators all over the world.
Um,
Access.com.
so accessconsciousness.com.
Yeah,
I hope I typed it properly. We'll find
yeah,
out. So I put it in the chat. So if it's not, you can review it
yeah,
and say, no, the
yeah.
site is dead.
Accessconsciousness.com, and there
And then
is
you
a
can search around the world for
yeah, we
people
are in
there.
170 countries for
That's
sure.
a lot of countries, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm
So
sure
how
you
do
can.
people how can people register to your class?
They can send me an email, or I can give you, like, in Access Consciousness, but I can give you the link.
Because you're actually what they can do is put it in the chat and
Yes.
we can contact them. So if you're interested, because you're listening to that video, and if you have the patience to listen for 40 minutes because it's super interesting, put in the chat how to access the class and say, I'm interested, I want to know more. Whether you join or not, if you're interested to know more, then Nuria will get back to you and
Yeah,
share
I would love to. Yeah. Yeah. Yes,
will give
absolutely.
you
Yeah.
information.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Well, and how quickly 40 minutes go by, right? It's already 37 minutes that we've been here. It's 3:05. So thank
But
you so much,
thank you.
Nuria, for being here and sharing with us, your magic and your power. And for all of you that are listening, just always look at what's the gift in everything that happened to you, because sometimes you might think that, oh, this is so horrible, life is so hard, but then if you look for the positive, it's like the yin and the yang, right? There's always a dot that of different color in each section, which represent, there's always a little bit of negative in the positive, and there's always a little bit of positive in the negative, regardless of how you look at it. So when you feel depressed, or when you feel that you're not feeling your best, well, try to see what's the gift in that.
Yeah.
How can I improve myself, and look for ways. There are so many ways. Contact us. Nuria and I, we're fully
Yeah.
equipped to assist you into getting better. If you feel depressed or there's issue you want to work on in your life and all that, then we'll be more than happy to help you. And as for myself, I will have a workshop on, now I forgot the date, so let me look at the calendar. I didn't forget the date, but I just want to give you the right one. It's the 26th of August. I will have a masterclass that will tell you more about mental fitness and how to develop your strength and your positive muscle. So I'll put some more information in my on my wall in the future, but keep your date open. It'll be at 5 o'clock Pacific daytime. So make sure you put that in your calendar, and it'll be a little Zoom masterclass. So you'll be invited out. And thank you so much, Nuria. It was a great
Thank
pleasure to
you.
have you here. Thank you, everyone that has listened. And as you listen, you can put hashtag replay in the chat so that we know who was watching in replay. And also, if you have any question, put your question in the chat, and then we will go back and reply
Yeah.
to the question in the chat as this video is being seen by other people later. So everyone, goodbye. Just so you know, next week, 1 p.m. Pacific Daytime, I will be here with David Wetmore. And he's also a facilitator of positive mindset and how to deal with people with stress and emotion, because it seems to be a lot of that these days. So there's a lot of people out there that can assist you.
Amazing.
So please check in for next Monday, 1 p.m. Pacific time. I'll have another live with another guest, and I'll be happy to introduce you to David. So thank you so much, Nuria. It was a pleasure. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone. And we'll see you another day. Please place your comment in the chat. Would love to hear
Yes,
from you. Goodbye.
thank you. Bye bye.